Okay, what are you saying, people? Welcome back to another live stream. Hope you're all doing well. Like always, guys, any pairs, any charts, any markets you're looking at, feel free to let me know in the chat. Or if you're in any trades, looking to enter trades, feel free to let us know in the chat. If you are looking to join my Telegram, links in the description like always, and also at the top of the chat, I post my watch list and my setups. I trade there for the week. So feel free to go and check that out if you want to. And if you are looking for a broker, I've got my affiliate link there to IC Markets. So go and check that out if you want to. But good morning, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. Good morning, Rex. Welcome to the stream. Excuse me. Morning, Ibrahim. Welcome to the stream. Weekend was well. Hope yours was good as well to Ibrahim. Welcome to the stream, guys. Hope you're all doing well. Sup. So yeah, any pairs you're looking at, let me know in the chat. I'll take a look at them. But actually, let me get the old watermark on before I forget. And let me actually make the candles a little bit darker so you guys can see it a bit clearer. Let maybe too dark. We'll just go for that color there, and that one. Beautiful. Okay, so I'll make this a bit darker. Again, I do change my colors when I'm looking at the charts by myself, but then I do change it back when I do go live so you guys can see it better. But I do like the subtle look of my charts. Okay, so yeah, let's get into the chart. So I'm currently in pound NZD long on this one. I did post this one on my Telegram on Friday. In fact, I did post two setups on Friday, one Euro USD shorts and pound NZD longs, which Euro USD shorts I did get stopped out on that one, break even yesterday, but pound NZD I'm still in for some longs. So yeah, in some nice long trades. Again, this was a trade that I was looking at a lot last week. I actually had a trade beforehand which I entered over here, which got stopped out of break even. Stop loss was beneath those lows. Again, I was looking for a push to the top of the 4H time frame into the wicks. So this was the setup that I was mainly focused on last week. So this area here, and we just about missed it, came break even. But then I guess I got a second entry on Friday after that big strong down move into this support level here. And yeah, I'm currently still in this position, which I did post on my Telegram on Friday. So that was looking good. I'm break even now after that current 4H candle closure. We just cleared a whole bunch of wicks there in the 4H time frame, and we're looking strong there on the hourly. So my entry was on this candle here, and stop loss was just below that wick. So now I'm looking for the market to continue higher into the wick up there. We may go higher, but overall pound NZD is in a little bit of a range here, so I don't want to try and push my luck too much. But yeah, in some longs here for pound NZD, so hoping that we could continue to the upside. I do have a few pairs that I'm focusing on a lot this week, so hopefully I can get some entries for them. GU and GA, of course, we'll get onto that one. GU, I'll take a look at pound USD because we're seeing a lot of dollar strength, which was expected. If you haven't seen my weekly analysis, go and check that out. It's the most recent video on my channel. But yeah, for the DXY, I was expecting price to go and take out these highs on the left, and as you can see, price has just about gone and done that this morning. So I'm expecting some more dollar strength, but now that we've taken out the highs, I'm not too sure what could happen to dollar now, because dollar's been flying, be taking high after high after high, and we're still trading above those monthly highs with this wick here on the left. And we could suffer some retracement now after this, or we could keep flying. It depends on what dollar wants to do, but my analysis was for this one is that we're going to take out the wick. Now that we've done that, I'm kind of just waiting to see what dollar does next. I'm still overly bullish because the trend is still up, of course, but there could be some nice sells on dollar after taking out that for the short being. But we'll take a look at pound USD, because I'm expecting pound USD to react to that and obviously head to the downside. Where is pound USD? Completely low. There you are. Okay, so yeah, pound USD heading to the downside, which was expected. Targets for this one with a low of this wick here from a couple of weeks ago now. We're still expecting price to go and take out those wicks like Euro's just gone and taken out all those wicks and those monthly and that monthly wick as well, which I'll get into in a second. But we're expecting pound USD to come back down into this support. We've broken through our recent swing low, most recent swing low on the daily time frame. As you can see, if I go on the daily quickly, this was our swing low just before creating that new swing low. We've broken through that, retested that with the daily candlestick, so I'm expecting us to head down to go and fill that wick to the downside and head lower. And you can see we are still consecutively placing these lower highs in the market. We've got one there, second one there, third one there, it looks like a fourth one here as well. So it tells us that the sellers are still in control of this market. We are seeing some strong aggressive pullbacks, yes, but the sellers are still mainly in control. So as long as we kind of stay below this 1.21800 or 1.21700 level, which is that broken swing low on the daily time resistance, and preferably below that trend line there as well, I would expect pound USD to come back down to these lows. You can also have this as a target as well, that swing low there on the hourly. But yeah, as long as we stay below that, what I'll be expecting to see is another lower high form and then another drop to the downside into 1.2 and then 1.194. There's a chance that we might just continue bearish from where we are right now. We might not see much of a pullback. So we could just continue to drop, melt to the downside, take out that low and go and test those daily and weekly lows down there. That is definitely a possibility. But if you do have a pullback, you've got kind of like a neckline here, ish, of that kind of head and shoulder there, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Could see a retest of that and then the drop back down again, which could provide some entries on the lower time frames, 30, 50 minute, depending on what time frame you want to enter on. But in terms of direction, bias, expecting pound USD to continue to the downside. The only question mark I have on this one is, now that dollar has taken out those highs, what's dollar's next move? Are we going to retrace now, or are we going to keep flying? That's completely up to dollar. It's difficult to say which one it will be. Obviously, I'm still bullish right now on the market because we're still consistently making those high highs and high lows. So there's no point for me to be bearish. Doesn't make any sense. So I would expect pound USD to head down, but keep an eye on dollar because that will obviously be a factor in the future. Pound AUD, we'll get onto that. Hey Anthony, welcome to the stream. Good day to you as well. USD ZAR, of course. I actually looked at USD ZAR on my weekly analysis this week. Little bonus pair. I'll get into USD ZAR, no problem. Gold bleeding again, that dollar strength. Yeah, I haven't actually taken a look at gold this week, to be fair, but last time I was looking at dollar was across the weekend and it was looking very, very bearish. In fact, I'm still expecting more downside for gold, which was my analysis coming into the week. Hello Deep, welcome to the stream. USD, of course, we'll get onto that as well. No problemo. We'll start on pound AUD first though. So yeah, pound AUD looking strong. This one is a little bit it's in a funny situation because we've seen a lot of momentum there, but where we're trading is not necessarily the best place to be looking for buys for this one, because you can see where we're trading is kind of at the highs of a range, as you can see. So we've got 1.78, a very critical resistance that's been struggling to break for some time, and we've got a strong support here around the 1.72500. So technically speaking, buying into this level doesn't make too much sense. On the lower time frames, if you can catch a nice 50, 60, 70, 80 pip move, that will make sense in and out. But as terms of the next swing could easily be to the downside for pound AUD if this is the next lower high potentially. So I would watch out for pound AUD because you can see we've made these highs up here, drop to the downside, form that low, try to take out those highs down the left. I think we've got some equal highs or slightly took out the highs, dumped again to the downside, taking out these lows here, giving us some new lows. We could be forming a lower high somewhere around here for another move to the downside. I would not be surprised if our next move is to go and take out this wick here on the left for pound AUD. If we can break above this daily resistance, then yeah, buys would look absolutely fantastic at that point. But you can see on the daily how many wicks and rejections we've seen from this level is ridiculous. So buying into that just doesn't make any sense at all. If you can get a strong daily close above, retest, we can fly. Targets can be this area here, pretty clean price action there on the left, so could see a nice push back up to 1.815. But as of right now, we're in this range moving sideways, and yeah, the market's trying to break through these highs, but it keeps failing. We're seeing very, very strong momentum with these big bullish candles, but when they close, we just melt right back to the downside. And now we've seen a big strong move here. I wouldn't be surprised if we melt back down to the downside here as well. So yeah, for pound AUD, I'll be looking at sells as long as we stay below 1.78. Buys if you break above it, retest it above 1.78, then buys we can take advantage of that next swing. But for me, I do think we'll probably form a lower high somewhere. It could be forming right now. I'll probably wait for a double top or something like that just to confirm it. But I wouldn't be surprised if our next move is to come and take out these lows here. And maybe you can see a bearish swing, a complete bearish swing to fill the range back down to the lows. That's a possibility as well. But yeah, these big strong bullish candles are a little bit deceiving to me. They look like momentum is strong for pound AUD with those big bullish candles, but where we're trading into doesn't make too much sense. And the fact that we're trying to move higher and we keep collapsing each time tells me that pound AUD most likely will form a lower high to drop lower again. So that's what I'll be seeing for pound AUD. I'm just playing ping pong, GA buying and selling at the top of the bottom. Fair play, room. Yeah, I mean, ping pong is exactly what it's doing right now. It's rejecting the support quite well, but I would expect price to form a lower high somewhere, or at least the equal highs coming into that resistance. And then, yeah, another ping pong move back down to 1.76. And if you get that break, we could see even a bigger move happen. USD ZAR, so yeah, USD ZAR still trading at a critical level of resistance. Again, USD ZAR affected by the dollar. Dollar's very, very strong right now. USD ZAR is still trying to break through that resistance. Again, I'm still waiting for that daily close to confirm it. And yeah, the daily's still got 11 hours left before it closes, but we're still kind of just trading it around that area. I wouldn't say we broke it just yet because the daily hasn't cleared it. We're still forming wicks on the daily time frame, even though the 4HES is closed above. I wouldn't buy into that too much because these could be fake outs, trapping some buyers here for the move back down. So if you use these I'll wait for price to break out this consolidation here on the 4H time frame. If I just draw that as consolidation. And then that will make a lot more sense because if you can snap above that, then I'll be expecting price to move higher. I do have a higher target where we can go, which is here on the left at 16.72. So if you can clear that consolidation, then I'll be expecting 16.72 up there. But if we clear it to the downside, then effectively all we've had is a false breakout of those highs at 16.35, and I'll be expecting to see a nice drop to the downside for USD ZAR. And again, depends how far you want to take it. You got some nice level of support right there. Let me just darken that up again a little bit. You got a nice area of support down here you can look to trade into, 15.75, or you got this area here as well. Depends how far you want to push the trade, of course, how aggressive you want to push the trade. But yeah, USD ZAR is kind of just flirting with that resistance now. It's making up its mind if it wants to break or hold the resistance. So I'll wait for that consolidation to make its move either to the downside, to the upside, and then you got some nice 16.72, nice targets to the upside. And if you come back down, snap above it, snap below it, sorry, retest, sells into those levels there will make the most sense to me. For USD ZAR, so hopefully that helps there, Anthony. And yeah, gold's been melting to the downside. Let me see what gold's doing right now because I haven't actually looked. Okay, nice move to the downside. I'm actually looking for gold to head a little bit higher first before the bigger drop happens, because I'm still looking at gold coming down to 1770, which is this resistance here, which is a very strong resistance. I mean support, sorry, my bad, got my resistance and support confused there, but really strong area where a lot of wicks, a lot of rejections have been collecting in the past here. As you can see, the market keeps bouncing in this area, so I'm actually looking for the market to head a little bit lower, and the fact that we are still maintaining these lower highs is still showing me that the bears are in control. So I want to see kind of like a false break happen, take out some of these lower swing highs in the lower time frames, form a lower high in respect to this high and that high, and then the bigger drop happen. So that's kind of what I'm looking at for gold. That doesn't have to happen necessarily because we could still just maintain these lower highs on the lower time frames and just continue to drop. But if we do have an impulsive move to the upside, most likely it's just going to form another lower high in respect to that high there, and then we're going to melt to the downside again. Hey, thank you for subscribing to the stream, much appreciated, my man. And yeah, guys, if you are enjoying the stream, leave a like, subscribe, share, comment, hit the bell. All that good stuff does really help the stream out, and obviously keeps you in the loop for more content. And yeah, any new people, welcome to the stream. I do go live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 10 to 12 London time, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. London time. So, any pairs you're looking at, leave it down in the comment. I'll take a look. But yeah, for gold, that's what I'm seeing happening. 1770 is my target. It's either we drop now and continue to melt, or we see one more move to the upside, get people excited for the buys, and then one more push to the downside. That's what I'm looking at for gold. Still bearish on that one. Euro USD, we'll take a look at that one. So yeah, Euro USD, I actually had a trade on this one. Oh wow, we absolutely died, didn't we? So yeah, I've been going on for quite some time. If you guys have been watching my weekly analysis about the monthly wick, which I'm expecting price to go and take out, and we've finally gone to take it out. Now I'm kind of just waiting to see what Euro USD does next, because we're trading some uncharted territory, which we haven't been below since 2017. Actually, not, we haven't been below that. We haven't been below that level since 2002, sorry, because this was 2017. So it's a long time since we've been at these prices, and we've just taken out those lows. So I wouldn't recommend diving into the charts just yet. Waiting for price to settle, form some support first, and then we can start to interpret it a little bit better. But right now, this could continue to melt. You know, it could drop all the way to the next psychological level at 1. Very, very big psychological level there, which I wouldn't be surprised if we do go and hit in the next coming days or weeks. But we're waiting for this to find support next, and then I'll see what we can do from that. But yeah, Euro USD, I'm expecting price to go and take out these wicks. You can see we were forming some higher lows here, but you know, it was always just a trap for price to come back down and take out these wicks here. So you can see a slightly higher low there, didn't take out the monthly wick. Then from the slightly higher low there, again, didn't take out that wick or the monthly wick. So price is just getting ready to go and liquidate all those wicks there in one go, and that's exactly what price has just done. So yeah, for Euro USD, I'm bearish on this one. You know, the market is still extremely bearish on the higher time frames. So yeah, I wouldn't really touch it. I would wait for price to form support and then pull back into some of these areas, and then we can make do with what price is giving us then. Because this is obviously now broken. This is obviously now broken support, which is untested, and now it's going to be acting as resistance. Your USD could either pull back, snap into this level, reject it, push down further, could provide some nice sells, or we could just continue to lead to the downside, you know, and just remain bearish until we find support somewhere. So yeah, I'm not really looking at Euro USD until we find support or we pull back into this area, because Euro USD is not really trading at an area of value, so there's not much to do with it right now. But yeah, we've taken out those lows. You would expect a pullback, so wait for the pullback if that can happen anytime soon. If it doesn't, we're going to keep falling until we find support, and then when we start to see some nice rejections, we can look into Euro USD a little bit more. But yeah, after we snap those lows, there's not much to do with Euro USD right now other than wait for support to form or we have a pullback. But yeah, that's just my analysis for Euro USD, because not much happening. Well, a lot is happening, but nothing now that I would enter any trades on. Excuse me. Good morning, Mohammed. Welcome to the stream. Hope you are doing well. Just rolled my dollar CAD shorts to break even just from witnessing this dollar strength. Yeah, I mean, USD CAD I've been undecided on, actually. I've been looking at USD CAD a lot over the weekend, and I've always been bullish on dollar. I've been expecting those highs to go, but then the price action on USD CAD has been quite bearish. You know, we've taken out this low here, we're forming some lower highs here. So for me, looking at that from a technical standpoint, and also where we're trading in the higher time frames as well, you know, in this kind of ascending channel, you know, it only makes sense that you would expect to see dollar USD CAD roll over. But that dollar strength in the back of my mind is just telling me, you know, best to hold your horses a little bit. So I haven't actually looked to go short with this one. I did say coming into the week, if you could do a nice little break and retest of this level here, I would look to get short. But when I woke up, price was really smashing through that level, and then we had that second candle there. So USD CAD for me, because we're still struggling to break that, I would expect price to go higher, but now I'm a little bit unsure because dollar has taken out the highs now. You know, if dollar does start to see some downside, then USD CAD can see some downside as well. But yeah, it's just a little bit of a weird one. I mean, normally speaking, I'm only focused on technicals and not really paying attention to what dollar's doing or what this is doing or what that's doing, because it mainly just confuses me, because you've got multiple things telling you multiple different reasons. And then at the end of the day, you either do nothing or you do something that you regret. So for me, for USD CAD, the price action is bearish. So technically, you know, I'm bearish from the pair. But with that strong candle there, breaking that low doesn't look too good anymore. So all in all, I'm just not going to trade USD CAD because I don't have a clear cut bias on it. So I'm just not going to trade it. But as long as these lower highs stay intact, you know, I will still be bearish on this one. So we could form a lower high somewhere here and drop again, which could provide some nice sells. If we start taking out structure now, that's when I'll be like, okay, it's clear that USD CAD is bearish. You know, if you can see a move to the upside, a pullback, higher low, then the buys there would make a lot more sense for USD CAD. But yeah, as of right now, my bias is not clear cut, so I'm not actually looking to trade the pair. Euro USD data, yeah, Euro USD on the daily is still all and out bearish right now. So if you're not already selling Euro USD, I wouldn't look to touch it really unless we get a break and we test of that low. But yeah, there's nothing really to do on the daily time frame. There's some nice entries to go short here and here. But now that we're snapping through that, you know, I'd wait for that daily candle to close. But on the daily time frame, for me, there's nothing really to do now for Euro USD. We're taking out those lows. You know, this could either be a big false breakout or the trend just looking to, you know, rip to the downside some more. So yeah, on the daily time frame, not much to do other than wait to see what we do in the pullback. If we can retest, break it again, or break back above, retest it and push to the upside. That's the only thing you can really do. Because we're trading to areas that we haven't really traded in a long time, so I can't necessarily look back and find some areas we can be, you know, referencing, because there just really isn't much to do. So yeah, for me, Euro USD bearish, looks like it's falling. Going to see what happens on that daily candle closure. Hey, what's up, Tix? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Looks like Euro USD is going to parity. Yeah, I mean, Euro USD is dying. Pound USD hasn't really done much, so it looks like Euro is a lot weaker than Pound. I mean, I say that, and Pound's just picking up the speed right now. To be fair, Pound has actually, you know, dumped as well. It's just that Euro has really dumped, but Pound USD has dumped as well, to be fair. Can you take a look at USD CHF? I'm looking at getting long. No, okay, I'll take a look at USD CHF, no problem. Please USD JPY, of course. Morning Sharif, welcome to the stream. Hope you are well. If USD CAD breaks the previous high, time to look for longs. Yeah, if it does break through that, then I can be a lot more confident in my long bias for that one. Euro has to fall since they can't raise interest rates. Oh, okay, I didn't know that. I did not know that. Thank you, John Pike. I mean, from a technical standpoint, we're always expecting Euro USD to continue in that trend anyway. But yeah, I did not know that. Okay, so I'll take a look at USD CHF and then I'll move on to USD JPY. USD CHF. Okay, so USD CHF, I remember we were looking at this one last week. I was talking about potentially price coming down into this zone here, but still prices evaded that. We are trading back above this low here, so you know that is a good sign that we could see some more upside from that. In fact, we probably had a really nice retest there. Yeah, we did really nice wick to the downside, retest and seeing some upside. So yeah, USD CHF does look good. To be fair, I'm not really a fan of this structure, to be fair, because we're taking out all these highs here, which is obviously break of structure, you know, higher highs, higher lows, all that good stuff. But this is, you know, a very prominent lower high, and we could actually form a low high reference to that and then dump to the downside. So I would be a little bit careful, but if obviously we can pull back from a higher low somewhere, that will confirm to us that we are pushing to the upside. If we just drop, then it is going to actually form a lower high and come back down. So whereabouts are you looking to go long? 96275. 96275. Okay, so from that wick there, let me go right down to the 15. Okay, so from this area here, okay, yeah, that makes sense. If we can form some wicks here, rejections, then yeah, longs from there would look good, and targets, you know, just obviously speaking back to the highs. All depends how far you want to take the trade. But yeah, I'll be careful, because if we smash through these areas here, this actually could be the next lower high for a bigger drop to the downside. But dollar is still very strong, so I don't think that is quite likely anyway. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Very strong 4H candle closure, so we could see retracement for this next 4H candle and then the continuation, maybe the one after. And targets, I would be looking at this high up here, where we just formed that lower high and tanked to the downside at around 96772. So yeah, clear targets up there, or of course the highs, depending how far you want to push the trade. Oh, 5 minute, okay. Drop it even lower. I mean, to be fair, you can just maximize your risk to reward here. So yeah, that makes sense there, because that's obviously broken resistance that we gave us our last down move before we skyrocketed to the upside. So yeah, longs from there look good. Where are your targets? Your targets back at the recent highs, or are you going to push it even further? But yeah, if dollar can keep up its strength and keep pushing, then yeah, USDCHF should go along with it to the upside. But yeah, dollar's just in some uncharted territory right now. Same with Euro USD, so there's not really much to do with it. Again, after we do take highs out, we see some new highs. Naturally speaking, you would expect to see a pullback. But it just depends how far we push before that pullback happens. No one really knows. We could absolutely fly, or we could start to see the pullback happen now. All I know now is that I'm still bullish on the dollar, and yeah, still expecting to go higher until structure shifts, and I'm told otherwise. But right now, everything's still looking strong, so I would expect USDCHF to continue as well. 1.00 is your target. 1.00. Damn, all the way up there. That must be some insane risk to reward ticks. All the way up here, or actually above that, 1.00. So basically coming into that resistance up there. I mean, 1.000 is a big psychological level, so it is a target. But yeah, if you're getting long from here and then targets there, I wonder how big that risk to reward is. That must be insane. I mean, too far, I do expect it to get there from a daily point of view. I do expect it to get back up here if we are struggling to break for that support from a daily point of view, which is obviously that resistance there. So yeah, it is a probable move, just a very, very big one. Morning Biggest Smalls, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. The JPYs, yeah, I'll get into the JPYs. I'll start with USD JPY and then I'll move on to some other, because I do have some other JPY pairs in mind. CAD JPY and Pound JPY. I'm still looking at shorts for that one, which was on my watch list this week. If you want to see, I posted some charts on my Telegram, links in the description. But yeah, we'll start with USD JPY because I'm still looking to short this one as well. Obviously, a little bit controversial because dollar's very, very strong right now. So looking to short USD, doesn't make too much sense, but I would expect to see JPY be stronger than USD because a lot of the dollar pairs, AUSD, Pound USD, Euro USD, NZD USD, all those pairs, if you head into the downside, they're all trading at some lows, new lows, whereas the JPY pairs are actually trading at highs. So they're due retracements. I would expect to see them come down harder than the USD pairs, and I would expect to see JPY be stronger. Again, that's just me kind of thinking out loud. Doesn't have to happen, but that's me thinking out loud. And just from a technical standpoint anyway, USD is trading at some very, very key areas. 136, if I go into the monthly time frame, we're trading at this price swing high up here. Last time we traded here, we melted to the downside. So I would imagine some buyers are doing some profit taking right now. Sellers are stepping back into the market, and we could see maybe a bearish month or two heading to the downside. So overall, still looking at those sells for USD. But I did say on my weekly analysis, I would love to see price get back underneath this zone here and then start throwing some wicks to the upside and then drop to the downside like we did over here and over there. But as of right now, we are trading above that. So I'm not looking to go long with USD. I know the market is still quite bullish here, but I'm looking at those sells. I think the sells will be the bigger move. We might see another push back up into the resistance here. But since we formed those equal highs, it's showing us that the buyers are struggling to push price higher. We formed the high, tried to take out the highs, but we did with the wick, but we failed to close above. Came back down now, and maybe we could be forming a lower high here. So if USD can get back below here, or just form some consecutive lower highs, I will be looking to short this one, and targets for me back down to this support here at 131,600. So yeah, for me, I'm expecting to see USD head down. I'm looking on the hourly. Again, things are still quite bullish, so don't jump into those shorts straight away. But if you can start to form some lower highs somewhere, something like that, can get involved in one lower high somewhere, and then take the short to the downside. Obviously support there would be a target to have, but from a swing point of view, this target down here is what I'm expecting price to go and head to. So yeah, use JPY, I'm expecting that one to head down, still trading at those key areas on the higher time frames, expecting some profit taking, and yeah, 132, 131, 500 is where I'm expecting price to go. So give you a bit more conservative, wait for a break of this kind of trend line here, and then look for the retest, then short, or try and get short early around these areas up there, depends how you want to trade it. So yeah, the JPY pairs, I'm still looking to short them. I shorted the AUD JPY last week, really nice sell off to the downside from Wednesday, and then Friday it picked off. Was it Friday? Yeah, it was Friday. It picked off to the downside. Really nice trade to the downside there from last week. Now I'm looking at CAD JPY, which still was a pair that I was looking at last week, which I did take a loss on last week over here. And actually I'm doing a video about that loss and how I could have done better as well, which I'll be posting tomorrow. So do make sure you check out that video, but I'll be doing a full trade breakdown on that CAD JPY loss from last week. But I'm still looking to get back involved, see if I can make amends for that loss. Like I said in my weekly analysis, if we don't break through this resistance here, or at least fail to break through, I know we have technically closed the blow, we've broken through the level, but we're failing to really push through. Every time we do snap above this level, we come straight back in, break above, straight back in, break above, straight back in. It's telling us that the buyers are trying to push price higher, but they're failing to do so. And I said on my setup that I want to see one more drive to the upside. We've seen 1, 2, 3, so the third drive, and now we've really rejected that level with that big bearish engulfing. So now I'm waiting to see if we can form a lower high somewhere. Form a lower high, I'll look to enter a trade short back down to this support here, and if I'm feeling brave, back down to this support, which is my overall target for CAD, but I need to be careful because those higher lows are still intact, so I don't want to be too aggressive with these shorts. But all in all, bearish on these JPY pairs. I've been saying for the past few weeks now, I'm expecting them to come back down. CAD JPY is one of the few JPY pairs that hasn't really taken off yet, so this is a good JPY pair to watch if you want to get involved with those JPY shorts. And yeah, it depends how far you want to push the trade. Even this will be a nice little level of support to aim for. But yeah, I'm looking for that lower high now, because this has confirmed to me that the market is trying to rip higher. It didn't take out these highs here on the left, so it's failing to do so. Now I'm looking for that third lower high. We've got one there, second one there, third one somewhere. I don't know where that will form, but when it does form, I'll look into some shorts. Target 1, target 2, and target 3, 102 down there. So yeah, CAD Yen, looking to short this one. GJ, I missed the trade for this one, but again, still looking to short, and target still remain at the bottom of the wick there. So hopefully I can still get a re-entry for this one. But effectively what I was looking for was a break and retest of this level here, which you can see has happened. So now I'm hoping I can get an entry for this one, because I did miss it. So I'm hoping we can pull back somewhere, retest some broken support, maybe on the hourly, form another lower high. Then from there, I'll look for my shorts to the downside and targets at 159.998, basically 160, big psychological level. So yeah, GJ still looking at shorts for that one, and CAD Yen still looking at shorts for that one. Euro JPY, we've sold off aggressively. Again, Euro is very weak. I'm expecting this one to head back down into this support, maybe even this area here as well. Been very bearish on the JPY pair, so still expecting them to head lower. CHF JPY, expecting this one to see some downside after taking up those all-time highs. Again, not too sure how far we can move with this one, because it's still extremely bullish. But there's a clear support level we can move there, and maybe even into this broken resistance turn support. Expecting it move down to the downside there. Use JPY, already went over that one. Break of the trend line shorts, looking at looking at 131.500. NT-JPY, again, similar setup to pound JPY, breaking retest of that support, and targets for this one was this area here at 82,800. So still expecting a little bit more downside for that one, and I believe that is all the JPY pairs. So yeah, all of them bearish, and all of them looking to get some short entries on GJ and CAD. So those are the two pairs I'm focusing on. Okay, let me know how it goes. Yeah, sure thing. Takes good luck with that trade though, but I'd imagine if dollar can continue that strength, we should see some nice swings to the upside for USDCHF. Another low for Euro USD. Interesting 1 minute for Euro USD. 1 minute for Euro USD. Okay, I'll take a look. Expecting gold to drop to 1792. Yeah, I'm still bearish on gold as well, Brian. Expecting that one to continue to the downside. I've actually got targets for gold at 1770, so I'm actually expecting it to continue a lot lower as well, take out that wick and head lower. Thoughts on longs on AJ 90.14. Okay, I'll take a look. I'm quite bearish on AJPY, pretty much all JPY pairs. I'm still expecting them to go a lot lower, but I'll take a look. Hey, thank you so much. Backriz, I hope I pronounced that correctly, but yeah, appreciate that. I missed the drop on Euro JPY and Pound JPY, both didn't give me the entry reasons. Yeah, I mean, in that case, Ibrahim, if you didn't get your entry that you're looking for, then technically speaking, you didn't really miss anything. I mean, you know, the goal in the market is not to catch every move. You know, if that's what you're trying to do in the market, you probably drive yourself mad, because there's moves everywhere and there's moves that you simply just can't predict. So yeah, if you didn't actually get an entry, then you know, an entry respective to what you're looking for in the market, then technically you didn't miss a move. You know, it just wasn't there for you. Some moves are going to give you an entry, some won't. The ones that don't are just not the trades that you're looking for. Obviously, you can study them to see how maybe in the future you can look to get into those trades as well. But currently, if that's not, you know, if it didn't give you an entry in your plan, then you didn't really miss anything. But yeah, it does hurt if you're expecting them to move to the downside, but it just didn't give you an entry, then it moves to the downside. Yeah, that is painful, definitely. But you know, in the grand scheme of things, you didn't miss anything. But yeah, I'll take a look at Euro USD on the 1 minute time frame. Oh, I mean, on the daily there's a little bit of a wick. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, even on the 1 minute, this is still just ripping to the downside. So yeah, I wouldn't do anything here. There's nothing really to do. This is absolutely melting. So yeah, I wouldn't touch this at all unless we see a pullback. I wouldn't even entertain the buyers either. Unless structure really shifts, then there could be some nice buys to try and anticipate that pullback to go and retest the broken support on the higher time frames. So that could be a possible long opportunity on Euro USD on the 1 minute. But other than that, I would not touch this, because from the 1 minute all the way up to the monthly, you know, this thing is melting. Literally all time frames, it's melting. So buys on this is just so aggressive, really. And I wouldn't sell it either, because we've already you know, kind of sold off. The market's definitely done, you know, its daily range here, so I wouldn't really entertain the sells either. But yeah, I'll take a look at ADJPY. Hey Rach, welcome to the stream. GR30, no problem, we'll get onto that as well. I'm in some gold sales at 1802. Wicked. And 80. Oh, nice. I was actually looking at ADNZD as well this week. Please analyze your USD. Sure thing. I'll go over that again as well. Do you have a Telegram channel? Yes, I do. I've got a Telegram channel. Links in the description. Or if you scroll to the top of the chat, I do have a link to my Telegram. I post my setups for the week, basically my watch list, and also the trades that I do take as well. So feel free to go and check that out if you want to. That goes for everyone. Links in the description for that, or in the live chat as well. But yeah, AJPY, I'm extremely bearish on this one. The market's still printing me lower highs here on the 4H, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. So I'm expecting this to continue, you know. I'm expecting those lows to be taken out. This target here of 91, nice big psychological level. I'm expecting price to hit that level there. There might be some buys briefly to the upside. Obviously, you're looking at the 5 minute time frame, so you probably could catch some buys there. Again, I'm not too sure how far you're going to look to push the trade. But yeah, I'll be careful with those buys on AJ. 90. Oh, okay. Longs at 90.814. Okay, I thought you were looking at buys up here. 90.814, where's that? 90.814. Okay, yeah, makes sense, makes sense. Okay, so you're looking for longs where I said, okay, yeah, that makes sense. We're in agreement with each other. That's the target I have for AJ by this level here. And that's where you're looking to go long from. Makes sense, makes sense. So yeah, longs from there do make sense because obviously AJ price still very much in a bullish market, as you can see here, and now we're having some nice complex pullback there, and this is our last resistance where we broke through and didn't actually come back to retest. So this is still untested level of resistance and support. So naturally speaking, we could see a bit of a reaction from this level. Might go bullish, might see another bullish swing, who knows, but I would expect to see some type of reaction, and it is of course coming to a nice psychological level as well of 91. So yeah, buys from there do look good. We'll have to see how obviously how price reacts with that level, but yeah, I'm still expecting more downside into that level. So yeah, it makes complete sense. Okay, I'll take a look at GR30 now. I'll take a look at ADNZD. Please analysis Euro USD 50-minute time frame. Yeah, I'll get to Euro USD, no problem. 50-minute time frame pattern. Have you spotted the pattern on Euro USD on 50-minute? Or are you looking for me to go and find one? Okay, so yeah, GR30, okay, still melting to the downside for this one. So yeah, I've been bearish on this one for quite some time now, expecting price to come into this support and potentially go and take out that wick, because all the other indices, well, most of them have gone and taken out their wicks, and GR30 is the only one still kind of hasn't yet. So I'm still expecting these lows to go at 12,383. So that's probably most likely where price is headed towards. Obviously this kind of zone here is a support where we could bounce from, but price is quite specific sometimes, so I would expect it to go and take out that wick. We might bounce from this support, pull back up one more time and then drop, or we could just drop straight away and go and take out the wick. Either which way, as long as we don't break through structure, aka this lower high here, I'm still expecting price to go south. Even if price does see move to the upside into this area or into that area, targets for me still to the downside, structure still intact, high time frames, weekly, daily, 4H, hourly, everything's still looking bearish. So yeah, as long as we don't break through 13,335, looking at 12,383. If you're not really in this trade, I'd probably, well, it depends how you want to trade this one, because there's actually multiple ways. I mean, this all area is consolidation, so what you could do is wait for the break and retest of the consolidation and then short it on the lower time frames. Or if we do see another move back up again, short it from the high of the consolidation down to the lows. Or if we do break to the upside, you've got the trend line or the equal highs at that resistance to short it as well. So there's multiple ways you can look to take this one, obviously reactive to whatever price gives you. But yeah, target's 12,383. Either break and retest the consolidation or pull back into there makes the most sense. If you do break out the consolidation and you've got the trend line and that resistance to look to short, but I wouldn't really entertain any longs anyway. This wick here is looking good to go in my opinion. So yeah, I hope that analysis made sense there for GR30. But yeah, I'll go into Euro USD now. Same thought. Okay, nice, good to hear, Ticks, on the same page. Okay, Euro USD, where is that? Okay, so yeah, Euro USD still melting. I mean, so many people looking at Euro USD right now. I know it's pretty much the talk of the town because it's absolutely dying. But for me, there's just not much to do. If you're not already short on this one, this boat is sailed. I mean, on the 50-minute, there's nothing here really. All I'm seeing is bearish candles, one bullish candle, which probably would have sucked in a lot of buyers here just to go and provide some liquidity with their stop losses so the market could head lower. So yeah, there's nothing really here for Euro USD on the 50-minute or any minute really. You want this one to find some support, and by that I mean find some support where it at least forms a double bottom, and then we can start to reference that as support. And if we start to hold that, then we can look for buys maybe for the pullback, or if we go and break through that, we can look for the retest of that range and then continue south. At least there. Ooh, at least there we've got structure to work with, and something to reference with Euro USD, because right now we're trading below that level and there's not much price action down here for a long time. We're taking out some monthly lows. These are some big lows we're taking out, so there's nothing really to do here than sit, wait for the market to give you something. It could either pull back or we can just continue to melt. Dollar's still looking strong right now, so anything can happen really with Euro USD. So yeah, if you aren't already short, and if you were already short, I'll probably expect you to probably start exiting your trade really. But yeah, there's nothing really to do here for Euro USD, and sit back and wait. Again, not every instance in the market is a trading opportunity. Some you just have to wait for some more price action to give you a bit more information. Right now, extremely bearish. I wouldn't touch it. Wait for a pullback and we start to form some support, and until we do that, there's nothing there to do, in my opinion, there for Euro USD. So yeah, hopefully that made sense. Gold will touch 1825. Okay, we'll go and take a look at gold. Hey, I'm looking for buys on USDJPY. What are your thoughts? Recce Beats, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I'll go and take a look at USDJPY. I'm actually bearish on that one. How do you feel about trading gold compared to gold futures? I don't trade futures. I barely even trade gold, to be fair. I mean, I do trade gold, but nothing compared to what I do in Forex. For me, Forex is my go-to. I do trade gold when it does look good, but yeah, it's probably like once every other month really I do trade gold. Sometimes I could do 2-3 trades if it's looking good here and now, but yeah, Forex is basically where I take 95% of my trades, so not the best person to ask about that, because I don't have that much experience. Hey, thank you Raj, no problemo. Hey, if you are enjoying the stream, leave a like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Does really help the channel out. If you are enjoying the video, guys, and you're finding it entertaining, valuable, useful, drop a like. It does help the old channel out. And subscribe whilst you're at it as well. But yeah, Euro USD absolutely melting. Not much to do there, in my opinion. I'll take a look at USDJPY. I haven't missed out any pairs, because I do have a tendency to miss out some pairs. I say I'm going to check them and then I completely forget. So focus on the analysis. But yeah, USDJPY. So for this one, I'm actually bearish on this one. It still definitely is bullish, so don't get me wrong. I'm kind of waiting for structure to shift bearish before looking for sells, because as of right now, the market is still printing higher lows and higher highs. This here was just a big fake move, so don't really look too much into that. That was kind of like a fake move to the downside, trapping some sellers so price can move higher. But yeah, the market is still printing higher highs and higher lows here, so the market is still bullish, but I'm waiting for some structure to bearish structure to form first, as you can see representing with this line tool there, or break through that trend line there, snap through that, retest it into 135 and then some short. So yeah, I'm actually looking at USDJPY rolling over because of where we're trading in the higher time frames. Yes, this one's definitely still bullish on the lower time frames, and I wouldn't be surprised if you do head back to that resistance for a third time again, so there could be some buys in for that, but you want to be focusing on the lower time frames, probably a 30-minute for that. But for me, I'm expecting to see some JPY strength, so I'm actually getting ready to short pretty much all the JPY pairs, but my main focus is GJ and CAD JPY, not really USD JPY, because dollar's still quite strong, so it's not the best JPY pair to short. But yeah, I'm actually waiting for some sells for this one. So yeah, the buys are still there because the structure is still there, of course. I wouldn't be surprised if we head back to that resistance. That would be a nice target to have in mind. But for me, the bigger move is still with the sells. Well, I'm expecting it to be with the sells, so that's what I'll be waiting for. Gold, what do you say? Gold touch at 1825. Have a little look at that. Where's 1825? 1825. Yeah, that's why I'm actually looking for. Well, I'm actually looking for price coming a little bit higher than that, coming into this kind of area here, which is 1828. But yeah, that's sort of areas where I'm looking for gold to tap into, because I'm still bearish with gold. Gold's still giving me those lower lows and lower highs. You know, we've just seen high there, lower low, lower high, lower low. So I'm waiting for one more move to the upside to give me the next lower high in reference to these highs up here. And then from there, I'm expecting to see gold melt to the downside again, back down to 1770 and maybe even further, at least down to these lows here. So the recent low here at 1784. So yeah, I mean, I said gold could even melt from where it is right now. It's just broken out this consolidation here. It looks like if you get a successful retest, it could drop from where it is right now. Obviously, the better trade is if we do have that one more move to the upside, risk to reward will be a lot better. Form a lower high somewhere, and then we can look for our shorts. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. Much appreciated. So yeah, I'm actually looking for gold coming to this zone here, form a lower high in respect to that high up there, and then the drop. That's the trade I'm interested in, but we could melt to the downside here right now because the lower time frame, lower highs are still intact, and that structure hasn't broken yet. So we could definitely form, you know, high and come back down here. So so yeah, I'm bearish on this one, but I do see what you're saying with that 1825 move, and then the drop back down again. Oil, okay, I'll take a look at oil, no problemo. I would say the futures have tighter spread, so but it takes a little more money to trade. Okay, I mean, I've actually never traded futures, so I would not know. Hey Dorcas, welcome to the stream. Hope you are doing well. Great job. Thank you. Please analyze US 30, looking to trade, of course, no problemo. Thanks, bro. Getting some sleep. See you tomorrow. Hey, much appreciated. Have a great sleep. Wait, whereabouts are you in the world? If you haven't already left the stream, because it's a morning. Well, it's coming to afternoon for me right now. So yeah, or unless you're just having a nap, really. Anyway, have a good sleep. But yeah, I'll take a look at US 30. Actually, no, oil. I said oil first. So I'll go to oil. And now I'll look at US 30. Excuse me. Okay, so oil. So yeah, oil's still placing these higher lows on the daily time frame. So I'm still expecting oil to push higher as long as these higher lows stay intact. As long as those higher lows stay intact, I'm still bullish on oil. If not, then I'll go bearish. But yeah, I do expect to see oil give me another drive to the upside. I mean, it's still quite bearish, don't get me wrong. So I'll have to wait for price to either snap above this level here and then get some longs from 111. That'll make the most sense. Reason being, we've dropped to the downside from that lower high, dropped again, had a false break of that lower high, came back down, and now we're, ooh. Oh, I completely deleted that. Okay, let's talk through that again. We dropped to the downside, lower high, dropped again from that lower low, came back up, had a false break of that lower high, dropped, and now we're respecting that lower high. So technically, it's like a head and shoulder pattern, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. So we could see some downside, but if we can snap back above that level at 111, buys from there will look great, and then we'll be, you know, still in tune with our higher time frames with these higher lows. Hey, thank you so much, Tyson, for subscribing. Much appreciated, my guy. So yeah, oil I'm bullish on, but we have seen a very strong reaction there to the downside. So I'm not entertaining those sells, even though we are looking quite bearish. But if we do snap back above, buys from there will look very nice indeed. And yeah, highs and push back to highs or that resistance there, stroke supply, depending how far I want to push the trade. You know, or we could see a move back to there as well, you know, depending how far I want to push the trade. But I'm trying to stay in tune with the daily time frame to give me my bias, and then use the lower time frames to buy and sell from. As you can see, you've got those higher lows, so I'm still looking for that to continue back to the resistance, so forth, and so forth, and even back to these highs here, which we just missed when we had that move down the left. So yeah, for me, price is quite bearish now for oil, and if it doesn't break back above that, it probably will melt. So in that case, you know, you could probably look for some sells on the breaking retest or that low there, just to be safe. But if you do get back above 111, buys for me look very good indeed, and you're with the direction of the higher time frames as well, so probability is much higher. So yeah, I hope that helped with oil. We'll take a look at US30 now. Hey, thank you so much for subscribing, much appreciated. From Uganda, wicked. Being on the charts all night, nice. It's after night. Yeah, take your nap then, or your sleep. You deserve it, my man. So yeah, we'll take a look at US30 now. But yeah, where's everyone from? If you don't mind, leave it in the chat. I'm interested to find out. Obviously, if you can't tell from the accent, I am from London. So yeah, I'm interested to find out where you guys are from. But yeah, US30 to me still bearish. I mean, lower lows and lower highs are still prominent here. We've got our most recent low down here at 29,683, which is where I'm expecting the market to head to next, as long as we don't break structure. I'm anticipating this to be the next lower high. This to be the next lower high for US30 at 31,800. So for me, only really looking for sales. We do have this resistance here, but yeah, I do not want price to break through that. If we break through that, it shows that we are breaking structure and we might head higher. So if we break through that, retest it, buys back to highs, look like a good bet. But if we don't break through this, we've already had a pretty strong reaction. But if you could tap back into it again, that would be nice for some entries, something like that. And then yeah, shorts back down to the lows of the range here, and then down to the daily lows if we could see momentum go and take that out. But yeah, 31,100 for me, really key level. If it breaks above that, price most likely will just come back to these highs at 31,800. If it doesn't and it can form a nice reaction from there, maybe a bit of a head and shoulders there, that would be great to short. And you've got some nice targets here at 34.85, and you've got the lows all the way down there as well. So yeah, US30 for me still bearish to the high time frames, but expecting that to drop still. India, wicked. Whereabouts in India? I know a few cities, and by a few I probably know about 2 or 3. But yeah, whereabouts? Watching from India, much love. Hey Emmanuel, thank you so much. Whereabouts in India are you from? Poland. Yeah, astrology, wicked, Poland, big up. You from Warsaw? Nigeria, hey. My dad is Nigerian, so I'm actually half Nigerian and a quarter Polish and a quarter Zambian. So I got a little bit of, not a little bit of everything, but nice little mix. So yeah, US30 for me, bearish. As long as we don't break for that resistance, that is. Portugal, Portugal. Whereabouts? Lisbon, Porto. That's about the only 2 places really. I know. Hey, Texas. It takes you from Texas. What time is it over there in Texas? Oh, Delhi. Is the capital of India New Delhi, isn't it? I don't want to sound stupid here on the stream, but I'm pretty sure it's New Delhi. Pakistan, hey. Great to hear. Everyone's from so many different places, wicked. How is my trade doing, by the way? Oh, that's not it. Where's pound NZD? Okay, the trade is still, I mean, it is in a bit of a range here, so I wouldn't expect to do too much, but it is coming to the highs here. So I've actually taken profit from this buy trade here. This was my break even from last week. But yeah, we've come into the highs of the range, so I'm looking to see if we can break through the highs and continue back to my ultimate target, which is up there. But yeah, it's struggling to break through this, so hopefully we can continue. I've taken some partials, I've gone break even, but yeah, I'm just going to see if we can continue to the upside. But yeah, I'm currently long in pound NZD, if you didn't know. I was in this one on Friday. I did post this on my Telegram, so feel free to go and check out the Telegram if you want to. But yeah, I'm currently in pound NZD long. Have I been to Poland? I've been to Poland once. Been to Poland once when I was like 3 or 4. I think it was to visit family. I can't really remember too much of it. I think it was Warsaw. I think I was in somewhere in Warsaw. But yeah, I've been once when I was like 3 or 4. I need to go again though. It's been a long time. 5 a.m. Wow, that is commitment there, Tix. 5 a.m. Is that the times you normally trade? Because I always thought about that, because obviously my time zone is very, very convenient, because when I wake up it's pretty much London session, and then I've got the crossover, and then I've got New York, and obviously at night I've got the Asian session, which I don't trade anyway, so it's very, very convenient for me, the timings. But obviously in the US it's a little bit more difficult. You've got New York session but London, so obviously just before that at night. Okay, it's good. Obviously, did want to seem a little bit thick there. Wants to get that right. Do you ever trade live? Yeah, I'm currently trading live right now with my pound NZD trade. Or do you mean, do I ever take a position live on the stream? Yeah, I've done that a few times, but not many, because most of my trades I normally enter before 10. Most of my trades normally enter before 10. Like between 7 a.m. and 10 a.m. But 10 for me is the time I start the stream, London time. But I normally take most of my trades before 10, so like between 7 a.m. and 10, and then another bulk of my trade comes after the crossover, so around like 1 p.m. to like 5 p.m. So I don't really take much trades in this specific window, which I am on the live stream, but I have done it in the past. But yeah, there's no real setup for me. I'm still looking at these shorts of pound yen. If I get a little retest, I'll look to get a short CAD JPY. I'm looking for some development to get a short USD CAD. I'm waiting for some more development before I make my move on that one. Gold, I'm still waiting for a deeper pullback for that guy. But yeah, there's nothing really for me here right now. But yeah, I've taken trades on the stream before, not many though. Most of my trades I'm normally just getting in when I come into the stream. South Africa, wicked. Whereabouts South Africa? We had a few people from South Africa on the stream once. Yeah, whereabouts? I've been to Cape Town. Cape Town's a beautiful, beautiful place. Definitely have to go there again. I'm up all night every day. Wow, that is commitment. So basically nocturnal, got a whole different sleeping pattern. GA, of course, Mikey, we'll get on to GA, no problemo. Me too, up all night, London and New York first half. Wow, Daph, are you from the US as well then, Daph? Yeah, that must be something, because I've never really experienced like that. For me, it's always been wake up, it's the London session, very, very convenient. I've never had to stay up all night to trade. So yeah, that must be a different type of struggle, but hey, gotta make it happen. Where do you see next important support for EURUSD? Yeah, I don't know. That's the next important question. I'll take a GA quickly, and I'll go to EURUSD in a second. But yeah, that is the question on all our minds right now. As pound AUD. So yeah, pound AUD for me is trading at a very critical area of resistance. Overall, on the daily time frame, it's in a bit of a range, as you can see here. Clear resistance at 1.78 and clear support down here. We could probably actually draw it a little bit bigger, something like that, to make up for that test there as well. But yeah, GA is in the range here. If it can break the highs of the range, that's the only time I would advocate or suggest to look for buys for pound AUD, because right now you're at the high, so the best bet here is always to look for the sells. And even within the range, you've got even smaller range here in the 4H time frame as well. So price is just really just up and down here for GA. But the key thing is that we're failing to push through. You can see we made this high here, we correctively rolled over, try to continue roll over again. So I would expect a lower high to form somewhere for GA. Maybe we might have one more push to the upside to test the daily resistance and then drop. But as long as we don't break from 1.78, I would expect price to roll over back down to these lows. If we break above 1.78, retest it, then yeah, the break and retest, that would be some great buys if that was the case. But as of right now, I'll expect price to roll back over. We form some equal highs here, looking for that lower high to form somewhere and then drop to the downside. Or it could be forming right now, to be fair. If we get double top there, that could be a nice entry signal. But yeah, pound AUD for me, don't break through 1.78, still trapped in that daily range. Would expect to see a rollover back down again. If you do snap above, break and retest, looking at 1.815 up there. So yeah, I hope that made sense there for GA. But yeah, Euro USD, so I have no idea really. I was looking at this one on the weekend, because I've been expecting Euro USD to snap through that support for quite a while now. I was expecting it to break here, but it didn't. Then it came back there, then it stalled for a few days. Now it's finally broken through. And I have to go to the higher time frames here to see areas of value, because the last time we were trading underneath this area was back over here, which is November 2002, which is almost 20 years ago. 20 years ago I was 2 years old, so it's been a very, very long time. So yeah, area of support. I mean, we do have these wicks here. Which will provide some area of value. Reason being, these wicks formed here and we snapped through, never came back to retest. So these are still unretested areas of resistance, which is broken. Normally in the market, sooner or later, you will see the market eventually come back to retest broken levels. If it doesn't do straight away, it might go away for a while and then come back and retest it eventually. So that could be the next area of importance for Euro USD, this big wick here on the monthly, which starts at around 1.02096. That could be the next area, but again, this is all speculative. We don't really know what's going to happen after clearing such a strong level of support for Euro USD. Again, a key thing to note as well for Euro USD is that this is a monthly level of support, which means technically speaking, you have to wait for a monthly candle closure to signify the break, and this monthly candle is just opened. It's just open. Still got 24 days left till it closes. The last monthly candle closed into the zone with a nice wick to the downside there. This could end up pulling back and actually closing bullish, which means that this support level hasn't actually broken yet. If that's the case, obviously you have to wait 24 days for that, and that'll be more important in 24 days time. But the key thing to note is that we haven't officially broken through that level, so we could snap back above, so keep that in your mind. But yeah, next area of value is kind of this zone here, but again, we just have to wait and see what price does now for Euro USD and how it reacts, because as of right now, it's in oblivion, no man's land. So yeah, maybe 102, 1.02 200 or 22200 could be the next area. But yeah, for me, I wouldn't look to rush into any buys anytime soon anyway for Euro USD. USA, nice, Daph. Whereabouts in the US? Me too, up all night. I just read that comment. Love the channel. Hey, thank you so much, Ricky Beats, much appreciated. I think I heard you say you don't trade indices. Would you ever try and trade that in the future? I have traded indices in the past. Not a lot though. To be fair, I can't even remember the last time I entered a trade on an indice. Probably about a few months ago. So yeah, I rarely trade it. To be fair, there's no specific reason why not. It moves slightly different to Forex pairs, and for me, because I do trade a wide bunch of Forex pairs, there's always a trade around the corner for me. So I don't really feel the need to drift onto indices as of right now, because I'm really comfortable with the Forex pairs. So I'd rather increase my knowledge with Forex and continue to grow with that rather than start focusing on indices a lot more. I mean, at the end of the day, price action is price action. So, I've analyzed indices for quite a while in the streams. I've called many moves, but Forex is just where it's at for me right now. Obviously, in the future, never say never. I could end up focusing on indices in the future. I have no idea, but from what I've seen, indices do move quite well. So in the future, I probably will dabble a little bit more into it. But it's not like I don't trade it because it's bad or anything. It's just that I'm quite comfortable with the Forex pairs, so I don't really see a need to go too heavy into indices anyway. But yeah, in the future, probably. What I think about USD/JPY, okay, I'll quickly go over that again. No problem, Alex. On your USD, there could be some demand support level at 1.00. Yeah, I mean that's a very big psychological level. I mean, it's crazy because that means $1 would equal €1 dollar, which is quite cool. But yeah, from that psychological level, I would expect to see a bounce anyway. Okay, so yeah, there is a little bit of a level here. You can see where price formed this level here of resistance, snapped through it, closed back below, snapped back above, retested that, then flew. So yeah, 1.00 would be an area to look at, to be fair. Still pretty far from where price is trading right now though. Still is pretty far from where price is trading right now. As you can see, this is the daily time frame, still around 300 odd pips to go to we get to that big psychological level. But yeah, that is an area to look at, which is why it's very, very speculative right now. There's a lot of areas, if you look back in the past, of where we could bounce from. Some areas will bounce, some areas won't. The key thing is to judge what we're doing with price when we get there, and that's when we can start executing some trades. But yeah, there are definitely some key areas we can be looking at. 1.000 is a big cycle level. I always will be looking at that. But the key thing is to see how price reacts when we get there, and then we can start to play some trades from that. So yeah, hopefully that was helpful. What do you think about USD/JPY? I'll get to that now. 1.02100, I think it's got to be the first. Yeah, so that's similar to what I said, really, isn't it? 1.02 I said. So yeah, pretty similar to the area, but we still got a bit of a way to go before we get to those levels, to be fair. So right now, I wouldn't really entertain Euro USD. It's looking way too bearish to do anything right now. But yeah, for USD/JPY, still got a bearish bias for this one, looking for some sells. Right now it's still quite bullish, so I would hold back for those sells for the time being. I'm waiting for the market to give me some lower highs and some lower lows, or even better if you can break through this structure here, give me a lower high, drop something like that. That would be cool. But yeah, I'm looking at sells only for this one. I understand the market is still very, very bullish. Hey, thank you, Victor. Thank you so much for subscribing. Much appreciated. But yeah, USD/JPY for me is still bullish, but I'm waiting for the sells because of where we're trading. On the higher time frames, we're coming to some key areas. I'm expecting to see some profit taking, and we're due a bearish month. At least. Obviously, we could fly. That is definitely a possibility. But as of right now, since we're still struggling to break through this 135, 136 area, I'm looking for some sells. As of right now, on the low time frames, buys look like your best bet. Maybe back to highs at 136 potentially, 136,600. Sorry. But yeah, I'm waiting for the sells for me. I'm waiting for the sells. It depends what you're looking for. As a swing trader, I'm looking for the next big swing, which for me is to the downside, back down to this 132 support. So that's what I'll be waiting for USD/JPY. But if you're on the lower time frames, you could squeeze a buy potentially back into that 136,600 level, or maybe about 60 something pips there potentially. But yeah, for me, I'm bearish on this guy. All JPY pairs really, all JPY pairs I'm bearish on. Just for the time being, not necessarily trend wise or anything spectacular, but I'm expecting to see them reverse and give me some more downside. I understand that the higher time frames is definitely bullish, but all of them are showing a lot of evidence of running out of a bit of steam and they're looking to retrace. And also, you just come into a new quarter as well. A new quarter, we see momentum come in, not necessarily change direction. Sometimes we do. I mean, if I just go on GJ real quick, and go on the quarterly time frame here and just highlight to you, the past 3 quarters. So what I'm doing right now is just marking on the start of the candle. This is the 3-month time frame, so each quarter. So you can see every time you come into a new quarter, you do see a lot of momentum come through in the market. So you can see, oh, I did not mean to do that. So you can see here, new quarter, big move to the upside there. New quarter, big move to the downside. New quarter, broke to the upside. New quarter, not too much there to be honest. New quarter, dump there. New quarter, flew to the upside. New quarter, not too much there. New quarter, big move to the upside. So every time we do see a quarterly change, price does pick up momentum. And I'm just wondering if this new quarter could give us a move to the downside back down to the wick here. Well, for most JPY pairs, but specifically for GJ, that is what I'm looking at for this guy, back down to 159.998, basically 160. So yeah, this is one of the pairs on my watch list. I'm looking for a lower high to form on the retest of that broken support. So I did miss my original entry there, but hopefully we can get some retracement and get something like this. That would be groovy. And CAD Yen as well, looking for the shorts on this guy. No problem, Alex, happy to help. Okay, yeah, same as well. I wouldn't rush into anything. Still looking very bearish there. It's aggressive, but there is a W on the 5-minute. Could look for buys at the 135. Okay, I'll have a little look. Tomorrow we got very important news from US, so I think they want to drop right now and buy much cheaper before the news. Okay, I mean that could make sense. That could make sense. What news is there for the US? Is it on the economic calendar? Let me have a look. Okay, there's nothing today, but tomorrow. Okay, so there's PMI, if that's what you're talking about, for the dollar tomorrow at 245. Oh, FOMC minutes. Is that like the speech before FOMC, or is that the actual kind of interest rates? Okay, so but yeah, we do have FOMC. Is that what they discuss about it? And they announced like some statements or something. Again, I'm not too knowledgeable about the fundamentals, but yeah, we do have FOMC minutes at 7. Okay, so that is very interesting. We could see a lot of activity happen at that time. And is that the news event you're talking about? Okay, let me go check a look at that W on USD JPY and the fiber. Okay, so I think you're talking about this. So I believe that's probably what you're talking about. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, it's a little bit aggressive. It is a little bit aggressive with how aggressive that retracement is, but I do like the wicks there. That is in your favor. Indeed. So to be fair, I don't think it's that aggressive, to be fair, because it is in line with all the time frames. Everything is still quite bullish. I realize it is quite choppy and maybe not the best place to buy used JPY. Typically, you want to be getting involved in these. Oh, that just came back all at once. In these kind of areas, and then sell in these kind of areas up here. In here is kind of like the middle of it, and that's very messy. I do apologize. So it's not necessarily the best place to buy the pair because of where we're trading. So yeah, it is a little bit aggressive. Not really a trade that I'll look into, but I do like the idea of it. I mean, where would your target be? There's a strong resistance broken here. will be turned support. That could be a nice target to have actually, 136, 100 there. So yeah, that would make sense. But yeah, a little bit too aggressive. I don't necessarily like where that buy is. Aliens D, okay, I'll take a look at that. Forex Factory. Yeah, I use MyFX book, economic calendar on the MyFX book. Forex Factory is good, but I've always used MyFX book, so I just keep going back to that one. Not because Forex Factory is bad, it's probably actually a little bit better, to be honest. But I just like MyFX book, economic calendar. Okay, where was it? D. Yes, okay, so you were talking about the minutes, okay. Okay, and that reversal, okay, spot on. So yeah, it does look good, it's just I don't like where it's trading. It's kind of like the middle of a bit of a range, to be fair. And typically speaking, that's not the best place for me to enter trades. Obviously, that's for me specifically, I don't know about you. But it does make sense, So yeah, Aliens D, I'm actually bearish on this one. I'm looking for this guy to roll over. We've been so corrective. To be fair, Aliens D is probably the pair that I dislike the most out of the Forex pairs. The majors and the minors, not exotics. There's probably some exotics that are dodgier than this. But this pair is very, very, can be difficult to trade sometimes. But we are clearing some key, highs here. So I do think we are due a pullback, and this has been correctively moving to the upside for quite some time, and we haven't seen a dip yet. So that for me is on the cards right now, especially after taking those highs and the fact that we are still, providing these lower highs. This could be the next one, and we could see a move to the downside because of that. So that's what I'm looking at for Aliens D, a low high to form in reference to these highs, and then a drop to the downside. I could be right, we could see another bearish leg, or it might be brief, and then we could go bullish, who knows. But all I can see right now is that we're trading at a very key area of resistance, and then we could form a lower high. So for me, I'm actually looking at sells for this one. This could be the next lower high. I'm anticipating it to be. It looks like we came back to respect it again. I'm not a fan of how aggressive we pull back up though. We shot to the downside very aggressively, then shot back up, kind of like a bit of a V formation, which is typically a reversal pattern. So not great for sells here, but if you can get back underneath this level here, I would entertain some sells for another move back to the downside, back into that support, and then into the low here, this wick here. At 1.09221. So for me, Aliens D, I'm bearish on this one. Buys will look good if you can break above that 1.107, and then obviously highs would be the target for that. But yeah, I'm actually bearish on this one. I'm anticipating this to be the next lower high in reference to these highs up here, and I'm looking for us to return back to that recent swing low because of where we're trading the higher time frames. But this one is still bearish on the daily. You can see the higher lows are still being placed, so we definitely could see that move higher up. If that's the case, we might just do one more swing to the upside before we do that drop. So maybe I'm just getting a little bit too early and too excited for the sells. But if that's the case, again, still looking for the sells even after that one more push up. But yeah, break and retest of that support at 1.103 would look good for some sells, and then yeah, move back down to the lows, because actually right now, to be fair, price is in a little bit of a range here. So if you can break through that support, it would make sense for us to return back to that support there, where we can collect some buys, maybe to go higher. But yeah, that's what makes the most sense to me for Aliens D. But I collect my buys from the higher time frames, and the higher time frames are telling me this one is due at least a pullback or a reversal, so I am looking for those sells. But if we do clear this resistance here, then you should see a pretty clean move to that resistance up there, so a little break and retest. You could take advantage of some buys as well. Don't have to be so fixated on the sells, but that is what I have going for Aliens D. So hopefully we can get some trades on that one. But yeah, so GJ, KJPY are the top of the watch list for me. See if I can get some good sells on these ones. Obviously, I'm currently trading pound NZD, which is at that range there. I've gone break even and taken some partials off. So if it does come back down, it does come back down. That'll be 2 break evens in a row there. Break even 1, break even 2. And if it does break to the downside of the consolidation, that will change my bias completely actually there for pound NZD. But yeah, we're not moving too well at all. So we'll see how this one goes. I mean, its brother, pound AUD, is not moving well at all as well. I'm actually expecting that one to come back down. So pound NZD could follow suit. Euro NZD, I was actually looking to get long in this one, but price action is looking awful. So yeah, this is one of the pairs that I was looking at for the week ahead. So if I should go on TradingView profile, so this is where I share my watch list, some setups that I'm looking at for the week ahead. So yeah, Euro NZD, looking at some buys for this one of that support and that support there, but as you can see, that support is failing. So we'll see what we can do at this level here. Really nice resistance and support in the past for that next higher low, because we are still placing those higher lows on the 4H. I'm still looking for the buys, but yeah, that level is failing, so not looking too good. And also the trend line's failing as well, but that's kind of the last level of support. If we can hold, we could redeem those buys. If we break through that, we're probably going to sell off. USD CAD, this is the one that I'm a little bit undecided on, as you can see, looking for the buys and the sells at the same time. When I am undecided on a clear-cut bias, I would normally give myself 2 scenarios to work with, whether the buys will be on the cards or the sells will be on the cards. And USD CAD here, as you can see, kind of broke underneath the level a little bit, broke back above, so it hasn't been too clean. But if we can start to break through structure here, we can get some buys in back to those highs, or if we do snap back below, then the sales are back on. KJPY, looking at the shorts, as you can see, looking for that third drive to the upside, give me a lower high, and then from there look at sales to the downside. And as you can see, we've come into that resistance and we've got a very, very strong reaction. So as you can see, we're waiting for a third drive into the resistance at 105.841. If we fail to break, we'll look to short KJPY back down to the swing lows at 101.652. So this is my overall target, but depending on the price action that I may just look to short it into this support, just so I can make sure I can bank some profit and then maybe look for a next entry. So I don't want to be too aggressive just to see price form another high low and go back up against me, but still failing to break through that resistance. So looking for that next low high for the shorts. GJ, as you can see, retested that, which I did miss that original entry, but hopefully I can get another one to short this one back down into those lows. Simple break and retest for another lower high here. 1 high, 2 high, looking at that third one or fourth one if you count that one up there as well. And then yeah, looking for a move back down into those lows for GJ and ADNSD, looking at a bearish move down into there. But like I said, we need to get back below that support to see that move happen. If not, we could actually see some upside. But yeah, last week had some really nice moves here. Euro USD played out very, very well. Again, targets at those lows. You can see we obviously melted straight through that level there for Euro USD. May get some analysis out for Euro USD next week. Pound AUD, that one did see a nice move to the upside, but is stuck at that resistance. So not sure if we'll see that fully complete and hit those targets, but we might start to roll over now. AJPY, that was a trade that I had last week. Really nice trade coming into that resistance there beautifully. Dropped to the downside, ended up exiting at that wick there. Didn't quite hit that target, but I still do think we can do, because the market's still giving me lower highs. So as long as that structure is still in place, I would expect us to head lower. USD did see the move to the upside, but not quite to 1.7, just to take out those highs. Didn't quite get to 1.7, but again, really nice retest of that level and then push to the upside over there. And pound NZD from last week as well, which is obviously what I'm trading right now. Nice move to the upside from that support, entered again over there. Nice move to the upside, not quite to the targets. Hopefully we can go and hit that eventually. But yeah, we're on a bit of a range, so it might be a little bit difficult, but we're still holding that trend line in that key level there, so there is still hope. And then yeah, NZD CAD was from last week, which was a really nice sell-off to the downside, which is still actually going, to be fair. But yeah, analysis has been pretty good of recent so far. Still looking at CAD JPY and pound JPY for this week. I'll keep an eye on USD and AUD and USD CAD. I want a little bit more information before I jump into any buys or any sells, because obviously dollar's taking out those highs. I want to see what it does next. Do we keep flying? Because on the monthly time frame, DXY is in a bit of a range here, and it looks like we're actually breaking out of that. So how far we can go, it's all very speculative right now, because we're just trading in above key levels, so it's difficult to work out how far we can push. On pound NZD, it's in a range of the 4H. Would you trade the range selling at the top or the range and buying at the bottom? Yeah, I mean, that's literally how I would recommend to trade a range. Buying at the lows and selling at the highs, best way to trade a range. You don't want to be executing trades in the middle and have your stop loss inside the range. Mostly that is a recipe for disaster. Having a stop loss inside the middle of the range, most likely you will get taken out. But yeah, I'm actually long on this one. I'm looking for price to continue back to the highs here of that resistance there, of that wick. So I'm actually looking for price to break the highs of the range. Currently, I'm break even right now, and I've taken some partials off. So I'm seeing what price does next, but I'm bullish on pound NZD, looking for price to break above the range. If we don't, then that will be some good sells for moves to the downside. And then it will come and stop me out, and then maybe head back down to the lows of the range. But yeah, you're definitely right. Price is in a range here, and sells up there. Stop loss above the wick there would make the most sense. You could put it above that wick, but I think that's a bit unnecessary. This move here looks to be a bit of a false break, so you can have your stop loss above here, and then yeah, sells back down to the medium level. That'll be the most probable. Or if you want to look for the full range, you can look down to the lows or the support down there at 1.94. But yeah, I'm actually currently bullish on this guy, but he's struggling to break through that resistance anyway. And yeah, a little break and retest as well could be a nice little trade if that does happen. So yeah, for me, ranges, buying at the lows, selling at the highs, and obviously waiting for the break and retest. Best way to trade a range. Any other way, a little bit too risky. And that means like breakouts and that. Breakouts is a no-no for me. In fact, I did take a kind of a breakout trade in CAD JPY, and I did pay the price on that one. And I will be posting a video analysing my loss on that one, breaking it down, and also what I could have done better. I'll be posting that tomorrow after the stream, so be sure to go and check that video out. I'll be doing more videos breaking down the trades that I take, or the analysis before and how it plays out as well, because you guys have said that you want to see more of those videos. So I will be posting out more videos on my specific trades and the analysis I do for them. Win, loss, break even. So yeah, be sure to look out for that. But yeah, as of right now, GJ CAD JPY on the top of the list, and gold as well. If you can pull a little bit higher, but I'm not too sure if we will. We might just dump now after breaking through that consolidation. Who knows? But yeah, all the GJ for me pairs, not all GJ pairs, all the JPY pairs for me. Yeah, extremely bearish on these ones. So I think that will probably be the trades of the week, to be fair. If momentum continues like we started right now, I think there will be some really nice trades in these guys. Because again, it's only Tuesday. Little pullback today, maybe some entries late today or tomorrow, and sell off the rest of the week. That's kind of what I'm expecting for AJPY. Retest of 92.765 and a drop back down. Euro JPY kind of had a bit of a false break above that support, and then it's come back down. So this one's probably sailed already. Maybe you get a retest of that level there if you're lucky, but it most likely will just will fall if momentum continues. Again, Euro is being exceptionally bearish as well. So yeah, Euro is very, very weak right now. So I'd only really be entertaining sells. And Bitcoin's just kind of moving sideways for this one. Hasn't really done much over the past few days, but I'm still expecting Bitcoin to retrace. To the upside, that is, because we've melted to the downside here. We're due a pullback into the weekly time frame. Still kind of trading on that prior 2017 bull run highs, and we're stalling there a little bit. I'm still overall looking at Bitcoin going down to 12k ish around here. That says 11,791, but around that area. So yeah, Bitcoin, I think we can see some retracement, maybe drag some more buyers in, and then another sell off to the downside, and then maybe from here we can start that next bull cycle. Who knows? But as of right now, Bitcoin is just lacking a lot of momentum. Needs something to happen again. Maybe FOMC tomorrow could excite the market. Who knows? But yeah, after dollars taking out these highs, I'm just going to be patient now. I mean, I'm not really looking to trade a dollar pair. JPY and dollar kind of move their not necessarily the same, because they've been out of sync of late. Especially what's been happening to JPY fundamentally. It's been out of sync, but more often than not, when JPY is strong, USD is strong. When JPY is weak, USD is weak normally. But obviously fundamentally, JPY over the past few months has been very, very weak because of what the Japanese government have been doing. So that's kind of broken up that correlation. But I think that correlation could be coming back into play now. So I'm expecting some JPY strength, which is why I'm focusing on the JPY pairs a lot. USD Chef short 1.00200 thoughts. USD Chef, I haven't looked at that pair in a while. USD Chef, okay, still rolling over. Have we taken out those lows? Yes, we have. So yeah, this guy is still very, very bearish. Okay, we've got that wick down there. So yeah, where did you say 1.00? Okay, so back into that area there. Okay, yeah, that does make sense. Coming back into this consolidation before we absolutely drop to the downside. So yeah, that sales does make sense there. And you know, this is our last lower high, so as long as we don't break through that structure, for me, it's still bearish on this one. Of course, that would be a great area to come into. We consolidated here for a few hours, or quite a few hours, and then we absolutely melted. So you know, that's where the sellers will be sitting to take it back down again. So yeah, that does make sense. Sales from up there. Again, the overall direction for the pair is still very much to the downside. So we still have that bearish bias. Got a bit of a trend line forming there as well, so that will add some confluence to the table. But yeah, Euro CHF for me is still bearish. I think all CHF pairs are still looking very, very bearish. I mean, CHF, JPY just hit some all-time highs not too long ago, so a lot of CHF pairs are looking bearish. Obviously not dollar CHF, but NZ CHF, AD CHF all come down quite nicely. But obviously Euro has done the most, since Euro has been extremely weak. But yeah, that does make sense. Again, not the biggest fan of Euro CHF. The way it moves, it's very, very corrective. But hey, price action is price action at the end of the day. Hey, Yadam Academy, welcome to the stream. Really enjoying the stream first on the channel. Really clean stuff. Hey, much appreciated, my guy. Much appreciated. Yeah, any pairs you're looking at, just feel free to let me know and I will take a look. But I'm glad you're enjoying it. And yeah, if you guys are enjoying the stream, be sure to leave a like. It does really help the channel out, guys. I do really appreciate all of that. And all the kind messages you guys do leave on the stream as well, much appreciated. You know, it does mean a lot. So yeah, if you are enjoying the stream, leave a like on the channel, on the YouTube video. It does help the channel out. Subscribe if you haven't done already. Join the fam. You know, join the fam. I do go live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. London time. UTC +1 as of right now. So yeah, join in if you want to. But yeah, the main pairs I'm looking at probably for the rest of the week really. Pound JPY sells, CAD JPY sells. I want to see what happens with USD CAD, either buys or sells with this one. undecided right now. If we can take up that high, then it'll be a lot more clearer to me of where USD CAD wants to go. And then obviously these highs here will be the target, but I want that high to go first, and then I can start looking for some entries on that, on the pullback, of course not on the break. Yeah, but as of right now, pound NZD is the trade I'm in. Not looking too good, but hey, trading the plan the trade. No, plan the trade the plan. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Obviously, partial very, very important, so bank some of them just in case we do reject a comeback down. But yeah, could be looking at 2 break evens if we don't break through that resistance. But yeah, I did have some nice trades from last week, so we'll see if I can get, of course it's a new month, so you know, fresh slate, come back again strong. So let's see if we can keep that momentum up. But yeah, for me, CAD JPY and GJ, the pairs I'll be focusing on the both. I know they're both JPY pairs, but the risk to reward and the pips I think we could see for both of them is quite beautiful. 300 pips to the downside there for CAD JPY, and about 300 pips as well to the downside for GJ as well for the target. So yeah, if I can get some pullbacks on these ones, I'll be looking for low highs. And if I do get any trades, I will share them on my Telegram channel, where I post my watch list for the week and also trades that I take. So if you want to check that out, links in the description to that. Or if you do scroll to the top of the chat if you want to, there's a link to my Telegram channel there. But yeah, I will be posting my setups there if I can get them. But yeah, not looking too good for USD, so may just have to sit back on that one with that bullish bias. But yeah, so we'll see how pound USD goes. Any pairs you guys are looking at before I end the stream, let me know. We'll be sure to have a look. But yeah, there's no other pair that would really take my fancy. Pound USD, still with those lower highs. I'm still expecting that one to head lower, take out that wick there. You know, broken through that recent swing low, came back for some nice retests. So for me, pound USD is only heading one way, unless for some reason we absolutely impulse through these lower highs and break through that structure. Then we can look for the retest and price continues higher. But that's literally the only case I'll look for some buys for pound USD. Any other than that, we're most likely just having a pullback just to head lower. So, you know, target 1, target 2, the wick down there. So yeah, pound USD, expecting that one to continue to melt. AUD, that one's still looking quite bearish. You can see all the lower highs there looking absolutely beautiful. Lower high, painting the picture, expecting the market to head lower. So yeah, still expecting more downside for them. NZD as well, similar price action, similar pairs really. After all those lower highs, and then those lows down there look good to go. And gold as well, if I can get that deeper pullback, that would be nice. You know, all those lower highs melt to the downside. I'm looking for one more push to the upside, give me a lower high in reference to that major lower high up here, because you know that is our major lower high. This was our last major lower low. So if we can get a pullback, which is kind of like to the 0.618 of that kind of impulse there, into around the 0.618 area, for me that darker so you guys can actually see, as you can see there. Then yeah, looking for price to melt to the downside again after that. Or we could just drop right now. Bristol Ward not looking too good for me, so I'm waiting for one more push up. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, then all well. And yeah, use the CAD, I'll wait for some more development. So yeah, nothing too much to do for me right now. Again, as a swing trader, the market is the one doing the heavy lifting, not yourself. All the heavy lifting is done in the preparation for your trades and planning for the trades. You know, that's where the hard work is done in the trading. Actually trading live, it's all about just managing positions, managing the market, monitoring in the market, entering trades, exiting trades, which doesn't obviously require a lot of work, just a lot of good decision making in line with your plan. And then that's all it is really. It's just all that decision making: buy, sell, exit, stop loss, break even, stop loss. That's all trading is really. Nothing more, nothing less. All the hard work of back testing, analyzing your strategy, knowing where you can improve, looking back over your trades, planning what you expect the market to do, trading the plan. All that is the hard work which is done, before you come into the charts, either the day before or the morning of, or the night before, or the weekend before, or wherever it is. That's all the preparation done. That's the hard work. But actually trading, there's not really much to do. The market's the one moving, not you. I've got no control of what the market does next. No control whatsoever. It doesn't matter how good my analysis is. I could be completely wrong. The sooner you understand that, the sooner you can actually be at peace. Or that's what I watch and speak there. And USJY is still pushing. Did it respect that little W pattern in the 5 minute? Yes, it did actually. Yes, it did. Maybe we can go and hit that broken support time resistance there. Did you take that trade, Ticks? If you're still on the stream. And yeah, this one's still melting. So yeah, guys, we'll be looking to wrap up the stream. I will be live again tomorrow. So you don't have to miss me too much. We'll be live again tomorrow, same time as always, 10 a.m. to 12. Indices still looking very bearish. These 100 still melting to the downside. So yeah, we'll be live again tomorrow. So be sure to check out the stream, same time as always. Get that notification bell on. Now I'm in UCC chip. Oh, okay, yeah, fair enough. Don't want to overtrade. Did react quite nicely with that level though. Okay, UCC chef is still pushing to the upside there. I mean, good luck with that target there, Ticks. All there at 1. Yeah, some crazy target there, but yeah, keep me updated. Your analysis is fire, much appreciated, my man. Or woman, I'm not too sure what gender you are. Why don't you trade lower time frames? Yeah, I just had more joy in the higher time frames, to be honest. I prefer trading the higher time frames. Like, I've got a really good routine going where I analyze the markets on the weekend, on the 4H daily and the weekly, and I can plan my trades on the 4H time frame. And for me, the 4H time frame, I just like the speed of it. It's not too fast, it's not too slow. It does take its time to have those pullbacks, but it gives me time to really make my decisions to a good standard. And sometimes when I was trading lower time frames, I haven't traded lower time frames in a while, but when I was, my decisions were quite rash and I did get quite emotional. So I think moving to higher time frames did kind of just numb the emotions a little bit more for me. So it's a bit more of a personal decision, but again, the way I analyze the markets can be taken to the lower time frames as well. So it's not really too much of a big deal, and the amount of trades that I do get on the higher time frames, it doesn't really, change the profit wise. Obviously the lower time frames are speedier, which is nice. You get your money faster, obviously, but I've had joy in the higher time frames and it's a lot calmer for me, and I do get a bunch of opportunities. So it's not like, I'm trying to search for opportunities because it takes forever to form. I do get a good amount of opportunities every week and every month. So I stick with the higher time frames. I mean, it's not to say that I won't go lower. If I do go to lower time frames, then I would only look to trade like 2 or 3 pairs, like max. and I'll be focusing like the 5 minute, the 15 minute, and like the hourly. So if I ever go to those time frames, I'll just be focusing like 2 or 3 pairs. But as of right now, I like looking at different pairs, picking and choosing which one to trade, and just sticking with the higher time frames. But yeah, maybe in the future it could change. I'll be here tomorrow. A wicked. I hope everyone else will be here tomorrow as well, not just Ticks. But yeah, guys, we have come to the end of the stream, believe it or not. I hope you've all found it useful and enjoyed it at least. If you have, leave a like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff does really help the channel out, of course. And if you are enjoying it, might as well leave a like as well. But yeah, we'll be live again tomorrow, same time, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. UTC +1. Hope to see you guys on the stream. I will be sharing any trades that I do get for the pairs that I'm looking at. If I do get anything, I'll be sure to post it in the Telegram. If you don't see anything posted in the Telegram, it's because I didn't find the setup. And yeah, we continue to manage my pound NZD position, but other than that, there's not much else for me to do other than just monitor the charts and see what I can find. Respect to you too, Ticks. Respect to you too. But yeah, guys, end of the stream. Hope you all have a great day. Stay safe. Don't go blow any accounts. I will be live again tomorrow, so I'll catch you all on Wednesday. I will be posting a video on Wednesday as well after the stream about my CAD trade, so check that out if you want to as well. But yeah, have a great day. I'll catch you all on the next one.